There's only two options, win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. Ignite, ignite, ignite. It went from a spark to an
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another week of Rumble. I'm your host, Damion Darksky on YouTube. We'll not be co-joined by Dean, however, I hope you enjoyed mixing out with Dean's style of shoutcasting last week. We'll be getting straight into the game. No time to mess around at all these days with the bans popping out. This game will be between Team Green and Team Yellow. Had some pretty high quality games in the past between these two, so I'm looking forward to some absolute scorches again. Ezreal being the first ban coming out, Ezreal being more of a comfort pick. Ezreal's actually not that good in the current meta, he's nowhere close to top tier. However, a good Ezreal is always an Ezreal you have to worry about, and the core reason for that mainly stems from the fact that he has good escape, okay damage at all times during the game. Jumping into Syndra. Syndra, as I have mentioned many times, is a warm spot in my heart for being one of the most skilled heroes that you could ever possibly have in this game. All you have to do is press one button and it insta-gives someone. I thought that was a lie until I recently started playing Syndra, and then I found out that no, that is actually indeed true. So don't believe anything that LCS tries to tell you. Moving on to Jax as our second pick. Jax has been banned out mainly because split pushing is known as the scourge of the lower elos. You can see it in League, you can see it in Dota. So Jax is a pretty secure ban to get out. Ahri also being banned out. Ahri saw some success on the weekend at a monthly LAN. Silver Tongue coming to the edge of that, so no doubt wanting to ban that out so that it actually doesn't become a problem this game. Azir also being banned out at the moment. I wouldn't have necessarily said that Azir is the strongest pick. He's actually been nerfed. He's really buggy. But you know, what happens, happens. Could also be a solid pick for yellow. We had the first picks coming out. Interesting, none of the shield-based heroes have been picked at the moment. So currently, what's really broken in this current patch is Janna, Twitch, Janna, I've forgotten her name, Lulu, any hero that comes with a shield is generally pretty strong. Interestingly, we'll have Thresh coming out. First, Thresh is always a secure pick, once again just due to the raw amounts of plays that you can see coming out of him, and Severe being picked up second. On top of that, we have Zac and Katarina being picked for the yellow side. Zac has actually seen a lot of play in the ULoLW club. He was the consistent pick for the Game Fest winning champions, which has been a pretty fantastic thing. Fantastic way. He has good disruption. He can lock people up and bring them to the team, which is pretty good for Katarina because it makes her job a lot easier. We have Severe and Hecarim being locked out. You can already see that this is going to be a chase and attack kind of team already. You don't have to be a genius or a Shoutcaster to realize the kind of picks which are coming out. We have Darius being banned out next. I think Darius is an interesting choice for this team comp. I wouldn't necessarily have given it a ban. However, one of his issues is closing range, and having a Hecarim, Severe, and Thresh would actually really help that. So that might have not necessarily been the worst ban in the world. We're coming back to the bans for the turn down for lunch, and we have the Yorick ban coming out. Interesting choice. Yorick is nowhere near as a good pick. To my awareness, Team Yellow doesn't mind playing Yorick, and he still does spit out a lot of damage. And that's one of the most important things that I could ever stress to you guys, is especially until you're like Diamond Plus. It doesn't matter what you play as long as you're good at it. Know your matchups, you'll be fine.
On to you.
We have the Twitch ban coming out as the last ban. He's S tier at the moment. Twitch just has remarkable damage, so that makes a lot of sense. And the Fish being banned out as last. He also has great chase potential, so you can definitely see that Team Yellow is trying to really knock down on that chase comp, which they don't want to have at all. Oh, I miss Dominion. I love the soundtrack for it. I digress. Cho'Gath is still pretty strong at the moment. As you can see, this isn't a really good percentage HP damage team that Team Yellow is running. Katarina doesn't really do percentage HP damage. She does more burst. Tank's really good against burst. Zac doesn't really do that. Leona doesn't do that. And Misfortune definitely doesn't do that either. So I think Cho'Gath is actually a really good pick here on Green's side. We have Fiora being hovered over. Fiora is always a fairly solid pick. Her riposte isn't necessarily going to help her against this team comp too much. But being able to chase, once again, is who it comes to, and being able to heal off the chase is very good. Fiora really will maximize off this. So Cho'Gath is really the only one who doesn't fit in the team comp. I think Green has worked really hard to actually build that beautiful team comp that we have here. We'll look over to Yellow. Trundle being picked up with the last one. I'm not getting the same good vibes for team comps as I am for Green. However, you can definitely see it's heavy burst enabled, heavy burst lockdown. So you'll probably Zac into Leona ult. So what you'd want to do is that you'd want to grab a large group of people, pull them back into the team, overlay the Leona ult over Miss Fortune and Katarina. So there's less pressure on Katarina and Miss Fortune to set up because your team will be making the setup for you. Sorry. However, in saying that, that puts a lot more pressure on Zac and Leona, so they can't afford to fall behind. Both Zac and Leona are heroes which suffer a lot when falling behind. So the only way to really match this is to make sure that they stay ahead at all times, which can be difficult. But the ball's in their courts. So if I had to take a bet on which team I think is going to win, I would put my money in Green's court, the team on the left, who will now be referred to as blue for the rest of the game, just to confuse you just that little bit more. As for who I think would win, let's fix this a little. As I would think, who would win, I already said the team comp win, that's fine. This should be very interesting matchups. It's the first game of the night, but I don't have any doubts that it's not going to be a good one. I'd say a long day, but I woke up at 3 o'clock. Fortunately, I have a tea waiting for me, which will pull me back into this game, no doubt. Interestingly, this is a team of non-tiers. None of these heroes are really that well regarded in solo queue tier lists at the moment. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're not good choices. So I will definitely 100% see how this goes. Oh, we've got the Warriors coming in now from Imagine Dragons. It's a fantastic song. But just trying to think, they don't have much in the ways of interrupting the engage of Yellow if they do get caught. Like Severe can press R, but just don't really break any locks on her. Hecarim's ult gives you a chance that you can keep dashing, which is kind of good. Fiora does have a riposte, actually, I looked up the proper pronunciation, but that's not necessarily going to save you in most situations. So Team Yellow does have that going for them, that if they do manage to get an engage, then they will be able to play. Is there any other criticisms I have? Don't have any at the moment. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go make my cup of tea. And we are going to get into the next game. So once again, my name is Damion Darksky. I'm the secretary and one of the head shoutcasters for the ULoLW club. I look forward to casting the next 3 games with you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I now am equipped with my nice 390ml tea. We should all be good. Let's go on to the skins bets fam. We have Team 4 skin versus Team 1 skin, but it's a Project Fiora skin, which is quite nice, but that's not going to save them from me having to change my vote to yellow. So we'll be loading into the game. I do try to rearrange this every time and then it gets messed up and I don't know why. We'll give it a go. Waiting for it to load in. Come on, Riot. You can do it. I believe. Yes? No? Whoop, here we are. Perfect. So, Team Yellow, eager to get in. Let's put these back on for you guys so you can see who is on. Team Blue also all running in. Now, interestingly, you can already see that they're fanning out to the normal standard blockages, whereas Team Blue is probably going to do the same here. Let's see. Ward's already popped out there. Very good ward to stop. That'll be an early invade. Now, Team from Blue just came out there at the moment, so I feel like they do know that they're in there. Perhaps, or have a sneaking suspicion.
Watch your mouth, kid, or you'll find
Misfortune's
yourself
got
respawning.
there. Okay. Oh, disrespect hook coming out, just getting some nice, nice early damage on the team. I agree, Silver Tongue. I believe it is a little rude of them to do that.
Minions have spawned.
There's a minion spawning, coming out. Trundle looks like it was starting in red, but we actually have a nice early engage coming out. He's actually going to get the pop-up on Zac, and Fiora is going to pop out a little. Oh, we actually have two project skins. A Project Katarina as well, which is actually one of my favorites. Fun fact. So everyone will be returning to lane, by the looks of it. Oh, yeah, almost thought it glitched out for a second, but that's okay. We've got the leash coming out, almost missing the Q on the static target. Thresh taking a lot of damage here. Probably not the most beneficial thing he wants to do, but you know, each to their own. Shoutcaster's gonna be pretty has to be pretty careful of that. Spinning is a more or less melee hero in this matchup, otherwise it's just going to end poorly for him on just when it comes to trading for engages. Getting it pushed in on the bottom already. See, look, it's already swapped. My Thresh and Leona's at the top. Thanks, Riot. I love your work. Sorry, having a bit of a rules discussion at the moment. Let me give you back my attention. So, as suspected, Shoutcaster's actually losing his engagement in the middle. Zac's looking for an engage. Looks like he's going to back off. Therefore, we do have the very good block actually coming out. We're going to have the full into tower range. He's going to be very careful. This is probably going to be a first blood. We've got flash and heal being burnt, however, on the Leona. Gotta be very careful when you're that close. So if you just try to memorize that if you're at that the weed there, you will actually be in range for the Thresh to hook you into the tower. Just very good damage coming out. She's actually gonna get the W, but she's also a little low. We've got Cho'Gath possibly looking for an engage. She actually lost. Oh my god, directed camera, what are you doing? She's actually losing quite a little bit of health in that engage. She probably tried to commit a little too much than she intended to, and she kind of lost a little bit of the push in the wave. However, from a farming perspective, she's actually still behind, so she's been probably focusing a lot on the engage. You know, the QW coming out, and Cho'Gath's actually out of mana now, so that's not putting him in a really good position. Whereas Katarina is just going to keep healing through the damage. She's actually gone for the Dark Seal as well. So you're going to have to just be careful and make sure that she doesn't spiral out of control. Head over the top lane, you can see that these two have been scrapping, whereas Fiora has definitely been coming out a little better on top here. Keep a close eye. Cho'Gath will actually be backing up the base. We have the engage coming out. It's just, I'm very surprised that she didn't actually manage to pop that side. Bit of bad luck there, otherwise that probably would have been a kill. Trundle originally making the decision to back, but it looks like they're going to be backing off. If we swap over to the mid lane, you'll see that Hecarim is coming for the gank. Well, a very good hook coming out. Leona's probably in a bit of bad position here. We've got the exhaust coming out. Lots of damage coming out. Severe heals having to be burnt, and first blood getting spilled going to Severe. Now, the big one here, which is very important, is that with Hecarim, you probably want a more defensive ward. So instead of having it in the bush, and this does involve a user to be a little more aware of the game, you want it to be more around here. Now the reason is that you can catch him coming up through here, and more importantly you can catch him coming across here. Because of his high move speed, he actually, you don't get as much time to react as you necessarily would by just having the vision there, because by the time you can see him off that ward, he's already gone. But we have the Zac engage coming out on top. We're going to have to burn the flash here, which I thought was a little bit surprising. But what's burnt is burnt. He's actually just going to miss the ward there. He's going to lose the ward as well, unfortunately. I missed a pyro, sir. Head off back into the mid lane. Slicing and dicing happening here. Q gonna pop up. We got the ping coming out from Zac. He's actually gonna miss the W, unfortunately, and Fiora's gonna be able to just move calmly back out of lane. We had the ward ping popped out there. Not sure why. It's just that one there. Cho is having a bit of an issue staying in lane. He does have level 6 now, so he can start stacking up, and he's got some pretty good bow burst. Hecarim has been sighted off by Katarina. She's gonna drop the red ward there, and he's actually going to go in and try to get some damage down. It was a bit unlucky that she missed that, but she's going to get the reset and manage to jump in the E, and the ignite's going to come out. That's actually going to be enough to let the kill go down there. Very good job on Katarina, making sure that she was getting those E resets of her throwing daggers, which can be a little difficult at times. In the top lane, Fiora was actually falling a little low here. Probably not in the best situation for her, considering she was winning. She also has to be pretty careful now, because now that Trundle is level 6, he's actually in the position to beat her down because of that damage pool that he can do. So Fiora's chance to harass is a little... Very good parry coming out by Fiora. She's actually going to pop the ult and she's going to go for the chase, but Trundle's just going to... He's actually going to jump out the laugh and fall back. We actually see a trade happening off in the bottom lane, which we just missed. So let's go back 10 seconds and give this a bit of a gaze, shall we? So he was actually under tower really well, running away, doing a good thing. Katarina actually taking a lot of damage and putting the smite as well. I'm not sure if that was a decent trade. Katarina... Hecarim claimed Katarina's bounty of 150, so he actually probably came out a little ahead on that one. It's okay. So I should note that Fiora doesn't have an actual gauge, but more importantly over here, Zac is actually going to be taking Hecarim's red buff. So now that trade for Katarina probably working out just a little bit of it, but still handing gold over his thing. We have an engage coming out. We have the make it rain popping out as the ult, and the hook being thrown out by turn down for lunch, but it's going to just be turned down in general. It's actually not going to hit anyone. Severe has no mana at the point. She should be a little careful here, just to make sure that she doesn't get engaged on. But her spell shield does have no cost, which is an important thing to remember. We have a bit of a fight coming out on the top lane with the flash being burnt to get out. We have Katarina coming up as well. Fiora is very low, so it's probably going to come as kill. Very good dodge coming out. She's going to get this, even though she's silenced, she's going to get the E reset. Now, she doesn't have vision into the bush. She does now. She's going to get the smite steal coming out from Zac. Going to have the re-engage coming on. She does have E. She's going to pop out her ult, and she's going to get the kill as well. Other than a little bit of a snide steal from Zac, pretty good escalation for Katarina, who's going to start really ripping out those Dark Seal stacks as it comes on. She's already got 3, which is good. Katarina's actually pinging out. We've got the Zac ult popping up. Now his ult has just been used. He's going to pull him back into the team, and he's going to try his best to go away, but he's going to unfortunately be unable to make it. Zac's passive has been popped, and he's just going to chill, come back together and walk away. Now they're not gonna get as much damage on the tower that they possibly could have got in there and then engage, but they've still managed to get some decent amount of gold distributed for all the teams. Because remember, as much as this sounds like it sucks, that a kill 1v1 is great, but a kill with assist distributes more money across the team, which helps the team better. Up here for thinking, guys. I think that's a very important thing which I learned, as selfish as I like to be. You get some good damage onto the bottom tower. Well, Eclipse is just gonna help push the wave a little. Hecarim's actually pulling across at the moment. Now red team does have some pretty good vision there, so they'll be able to see him either way. Good poke coming out from Severe. Getting some nice damage onto Leona there. Really decentralizing her from the jump up. Silence popping up. Katarina's going to go for the E. She's going to go for the ult as well. The exhaust popping out. It's probably in chomp range, but it's just going to push off and actually going to manage to get it. Now she was on 265 HP, and Cho'Gath, his ult, does 300 true damage. So she was in range for the ult. I'm not sure why he didn't. Because it was on cooldown. That's exactly why he didn't use it. So if Katarina saw it, and I can't really comment on that, because we weren't focused on that. If she saw him use it, might have been a little more chance. Have the ult. Very good ult from Leona, making sure the stun's coming out. Blue team's actually coming a little low. She's going to have to pop the ult and try to back out at the moment. And the ult from Thresh being popped. Leona's going to block. We have the Make It Rain popping out as well. Sophia's just going to walk out of this. Very good flash coming out from Thresh. Is actually going to do a really good job. While this is all happening, there's a bit of a scrap coming from the top lane, and Katarina's been pinged out for coming down bottom. They're going to ping out the dragon next, and they're going to push the dragon and make sure that they can try to secure this, get some good damage. For the team, Infernal Drake being very good for a Katarina Misfortune team. Misfortune really relying on as much damage as she can get for bullet time, not Make It Rain. Make It Rain's her E. I haven't seen Misfortune for so long, I've kind of forgotten, silly me. It's also really good for Trundle as well, so I think it's fairly beneficial. Lots of red pings coming out, probably because they don't know where the team is. We have the engage coming out at the moment. If you're trying to get it, you're going to get it. He's falling very low. The riposte is coming out, fleeing popped up. Very good slow smite coming out, but Hecarim's actually out of mana. She's just not going to be able to lock in any kills here, unfortunately. You have a very brave woman to stay in lane, considering how low she is, and Trundle is only going to get some more and more help, so she probably should back off at this point. Cho'Gath missing the silence at the moment. He's be very careful for that E. At the moment, he's going to do. It's very good damage. I don't know where that Q was going. Maybe thinking he could get some there, but he's not having much luck. Cho'Gath's actually gone for the Negatron and Cloak as well, trying to minimize some of that damage. With the red team clearing some wards at the moment, so blue doesn't actually have any in there. Gonna miss that. Gonna see if she can get the stun. We have the ult. We got the spell shield coming out as well. The spell shield's just not gonna hit, and she's actually gonna manage to get away from that. It's a very good lantern by Thresh. We have possibly the counter engage coming across. Now we have Cho'Gath walking through the bush and Hecarim rotating out. They're gonna eat some honey fruits and then possibly look for their own re-engage. Thresh getting stunned up at the moment. We have the Hecarim coming across, just dropping his E. We have the very good ult coming in by Katarina, following it with the bullet time, making sure the damage is just coming out. We're going to get a second kill. Katarina's going to do a little spin, and they're somewhat low. They might not actually want to pressure this tower anymore. and they may just want to back off and safely play. However, green team making all the decisions at the moment, their synergy just going off, whereas blue the opposite team just hasn't really had a chance to put their chase team comp into action yet, because this has just been one very extended laning phase so far. The engage coming out on top. She's going to actually pop out the ult. She's going to get a very good spin. Trundle's going to try to get out. She's going to pop the second one in a sec. Yep, she's going to get healed. The Ripper Sage just stopping that spell immune. However, Trundle's just going to possibly edge away. She's going to get the Q, and the flash is going to come out. She's going to bandy around. Trundle's going to heal up on the corrupting potion stacks. We had the Zac counter engage coming up across now. Going to get the Q out. He's going to get the smite. Just going to miss a very good ult coming out. Trundle probably playing with fire a little. We have the ult coming out from Hecarim, very good damage. Slow coming out. He might actually just, no, the smite locking down that kill. Treat him like his Baron, treat him like his royalty, get that smite coming out. We've got the ping coming out because Cho'Gath was seen, but Katarina's also rotating a lot at the moment. Very low, very low. I feel like red team's in the better advantage here. We've got the flash coming out, we've got the double flash coming out as well. I'm going to see if we can get some more damage. However, Katarina didn't get a good drop for her E, so she won't actually be able to continue the engage. A chomp coming out. That's a little unfortunate on Cho'Gath's point. I'm pretty sure he still does get the stack for it. Maybe, I'm not actually sure. But actually going to manage to get the kill for some very good play coming out from Katarina in this game. That was very low, actually getting under the tower at the moment. Bullet time popping out, not actually doing any damage against Thresh. A little worrying. The hook coming on all Leonas, and the exhaust, absolutely disgusting double up coming out onto Severe. He's actually going to have to back off on what was an actual decent engage. We have Hecarim banding up, and Hecarim's going to be spotted out by this tower, so they should have plenty of time to react. Like I mentioned earlier in the game, they don't really want to make any risks with that, because he can cross that distance quite quickly. Middle lane's being pinged off at the moment. We've got two red members here. Now, he doesn't have his passive at the moment, so he should have to be really careful. Hello Heck being popped out there. Very good damage coming out from Katarina. Despite getting interrupted, she's actually going to still get the reset. Her ability power starting to really scale up with the plus 30 ability power from her Dark Seal. So, red team is going to finally secure this tower after a very long time. Very good pressure from blue, making sure that nothing actually happens there, but this is all fine. So, let's talk items at the moment. I really haven't had a chance to talk. Interesting, Thresh has gone Relic Shield, which isn't the busted item of the month. I'm sure most of you guys will be familiar with the busted item of the month is in fact Ancient Coin. Just a disgusting amount of gold that it can give you. Relic Shield is still a decent item, and you can see that both supports have gone for it. So no difference in the items there. However, Boots of Mobility has been picked up by Thresh, which is a pretty common choice as well, just from the mobility that he can actually get. We have Katarina doing some pretty disgusting damage to Cho'Gath. He's going to drop with the Ignite. Is it going to be enough? He's going to try to heal. And Legendary being called out for Katarina. Katarina's already got her Void Staff and Hextech Gunblade. Now, Void Staff doesn't really become worthwhile until heroes hit level 13. But at this point, she can probably just hammer in her lead just out of the raw AP numbers that it gives you at the same time. On top of that, she's just finished her Hextech Gunblade, and the amount of natural damage that she's getting through her Dark Seal is pushing her through. She's 10-1 with 141 CS, which roughly puts her another 20 CS, another 200 CS ahead of Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's farmed pretty well at 101, but not doing very well. He's actually had to rush Abyssal Mask as his first item, which is a very unfortunate item choice for him. Doesn't really give him much. And while red team is actually securing the Earth Dragon, which will give them more objective control, we also have the Rift Herald being popped out as well. So Rift Herald will allow them to push even harder, and considering they already have an Infernal Drake and an Earth Drake, it's starting to look really bad from blue team. Blue team hasn't had a chance to have the chase comp at the moment because blue team's chase comp hasn't been doing much chasing. They've been the chasees. I don't even know if that's an actual word, but here we are. So we have the push down at the moment. Very good ult coming out from Katarina. She's going to get the chomp, but this will probably give them enough time to actually start pushing down this tower, because Thresh shouldn't really try to push. Now, interesting, here's a fun fact while we're here. If you're here, it's still worthwhile recalling. If you get to about here, it's actually faster to walk. So there's my fun fact for the day. The silence coming out. Shoutcaster's going to get rooted up and stunned. Very good bullet time coming out. He's going to get exhausted straight away, and Misfortunes actually didn't get a chance. We've got a teleport coming out by Trundle, which will also be taking up a lot of damage from the tower. Thanks to that invulnerability. Good hook from Thresh coming out. Fiora originally going in, but deciding against it. Now they're probably going to have to give up this tower. However, Severe does have good wave clear, but Severe has no mana at this point. They do know that Zac is off to the side. So let's watch this game from blue team's side just so we can see. We have the Rift Herald being summoned at the moment. We've got the engage under tower. He's going to pop up his ult, and he's actually going to pull Thresh and healers down to the back. Katarina gets some very good damage out, however, and just getting absolutely insta-gibbed in that team fight. Very good ult from Zac, just being able to land in all of them in the middle. Zac should have worked a little, despite them having the vision on the side, he actually went over here. So a bit of bad luck on the defensive. Rift Herald's going to actually help them get the tier 4s, which is something I don't usually see. There's not as good damage coming out, and he's actually probably going to fall here. Finally, and he's going to die. This could actually be a finish popping out here with a 21-minute game. Absolute slaughter coming out. Katarina's going to pop out another ult. She's actually going to get interrupted. She's actually going to die here, and the shutdown are coming out. This is the 3-2-2 popping out. We've got the Silver Tongue launching a very good Leona ult. She's barely alive at the moment. Hecarim popping up. Misfortune's actually getting the Fiora ult on it, and they're actually going to back off at the moment. But not looking very good for the blue team at all. Just give us a second. Sorry about that one, ladies and gentlemen. We're jumping back into the Shoutcaster. Very good hook coming out by Thresh. Very good counter engage popping out, and red team is going to have to back off at the moment. Very stellar defense coming out by blue team at the moment. They just can't actually manage. Red team actually just can't quite push in at the moment. So red team is going to have to block off at the moment. Dragon is coming up in a minute. And it's going to be an Infernal Drake. So they should be able to lock that down and possibly give themselves some more damage. We are at a 10k deficit at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how this game actually goes. Because most games which reach the 10k gold mark tend to not go well for the people who are 10k behind. But anything can happen. So they had some pretty good bounties being claimed at the moment. Some very good engages. Baron is also up and red team is knocking it. Blue team has no knowledge that this is going to happen at the current time. At the moment, Dragon is queuing up in 30 seconds. They have to stay in clear. You're actually going for the team out there, and they're going to be able to lock in this Baron. So what they're hoping from this is that they can probably go get Baron, and they can probably go get Dragon as well. They can get that final damage boost and push into the inhibitor and get that final kill. Now, like I said, blue team doesn't know that this is happening at all, and they're probably not going to be in a position to stop it either. Baron is going to fall right here, right now. Dragon's been popped now. Red team is picking out Dragon at the moment. They don't know that blue team is just around here. Blue team also having no vision here. Katarina is top at the moment. She's clearing it out. Katarina doesn't have teleporter at the moment. It's actually going to be a shorter person for this team fight. So they're going to try to pop out this damage as quickly as they can. Dragon's falling really quickly. Zack's actually away at the moment, but it's going to get pulled into the middle of it. Blue team's actually going to get the engagement. A very good bullet time popping out from Misfortune. Absolutely flawless, and that's actually going to most likely be the game. Beautiful quadra kill coming out from Misfortune. Absolutely fantastic wraparound from there. The game one will actually go to Team Yellow. I should congratulate Team Green on being able to pull ahead so much in this game. That will be game one. Very stellar game to watch, I do say so myself. Let's head over to the client and have a look. And as you can see, the gold totals were just 3,000, 4,000 gold ahead. For most of it at all times, pardon me. Katarina spitting out a 27,000 damage. Misfortune with 24,000. The closest is Severe on 15,000. Just not quite doing it enough. We have 17 wards being placed by Leona as well, clearing out 7 of all the wards. But the blue team actually worked really hard on keeping warding, but so did both teams. Warded really well this entire match, unfortunately. But as you can see, that was a flawless victory. Not a single tower being killed out there. Now I will go find out how the other games are going and see how long it'll be for the next game. So if you give us some time, fam, it hopefully shouldn't be too much longer. Don't worry, I'm gonna put some music on so you can chill. So we will see you soon.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. In youth, you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. The time will come when you spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above. But don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. From dust.
Hello. You had actually heard me mumbling to myself this entire time, so let me clear this up for you. Game will be starting in at 8:37 p.m. most likely, so that gives us about 13 minutes before the next game. Thanks very much.
cannot understand.
I reckon.
Learn from your mistakes.
The weak fear the shadows.
Fear controls them. I do not tolerate cowardice.
I'm on to you.
As you wish.
Let me at him.
You know, I just realized this entire time I was doing this with my mic muted. That makes me really sad because I was going through this really detailed analysis of what was going on, and my mic was muted. I guess in summary, I got 30 seconds to say everything I was going to say. Okay, let's go. Ezreal and Co. Really good team comp. AoE mop up, always fantastic. Probably going to go really well. More of a chase comp. Problem with the team comp is they only have one source of reliable CC. Pop-ups and throws aren't necessarily the best CC, so if they can't insta-give them in the time, then Draven and the rest of them will be able to wipe them over. Interesting thing about Draven is that there's actually not a very high damage comp. It's just only got Draven, Cho'Gath, Zara, Thresh, and Garen, but they can't be interrupted. So it really falls on Ezreal and Co. to be able to smash out them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, they won't actually be able to stop Draven and the rest of them running them down as the game goes on. Okay. I was supposed to be preparing myself, but now that you guys know my opinion of the game, I'm going to put my money on Ezreal and Co. Only because of the AoE team comp. No. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put in Draven and Co. Draven and Co. because CC is one of the most important aspects of League of Legends. And pretty much any MOBAs, and not actually having it is a pretty risky way to play. Okay? That is my feelings on this match. Let us swap over game. Right. So, based on skins to skin ratios, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 skins versus 2 skins. Actually, I haven't seen a Mega Squad for this. Pardon me, so that'll be interesting to see it. So apologies about the microphone thing. I mean, I was just rambling on for the most part. I summarized the main points, I feel. So just waiting for the game to load in at the moment. Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
Welcome to
Got a pretty standard positioning coming out at the moment. No one really looking for the engage. Red team's actually lining up. Most people tend to go for a ward. They probably could have got it. Yeah, they're actually going to manage to get that sneaky 10 gold. They're going to choose the engage. However, back off. Take that gold winnings with them. Cho'Gath's actually backing. Well, probably not. Nice peaceful start to the game.
Minions have spawned.
Red team actually going around in blue team's jungle, probably just working out what the path is going to be so they can pressure it. Maybe looking for an early kill. It's not going to get anything. Beyblading popping out is very good damage with Fiora. Fiora getting plenty back, however. So, we've got the blue buff being done by here. Leona actually taking a bit of damage here, but it's fine. Heal that up, and not even burning smite at this point. Shoutcaster going to be able to lock in that red buff as well. Matchups are pretty standard. Beyblade's popping out. Fiora's actually going to try to get some damage there. She's getting some pretty good damage, considering she hasn't hit any vitals at the moment. I think this will be an engage to watch, because First Blood's most likely going to be spilled there. Now, Zara is in a rough place versus Fizz, because she is quite immobile, and a lot of her damage relies on comboing, which can be difficult if Fizz is you know, invulnerable. She does have some good seed placement around her, so she should be fine. Getting some nice damage out there. Top lane, lots of potions having to be burnt at the moment. Silence popping out. Garen's got no more potions left, and Fiora's refillable bottle is empty for now. Is passive doing work as usual, and Fiora's actually going to have to work really hard to try to stay in lane. In the bot lane, Draven's pretty low at the moment. Not going for the right minions either. There we go. Good boy. Let's see that Thresh has gotten the busted ancient point. It'll be a little easier. It does make him a little less tanky, but the raw amount of gold income that it has is completely fine. Oh, Leona's coming under tower. She is pretty low at the moment. The passive is actually going to make sure we eat through that damage. Mid lane, not a lot exciting is happening, but we do have an engage from Volibear coming onto Garen, looking to put a bit of pressure. Very low, and Volibear's passive is actually going to be burned. Not for a lot at all, unfortunately. Sho'gaf is hanging around as well, but he doesn't look like he's going to do anything. The red team pinging out the ward makes me think they know it's there. Nothing happening in the mid lane, just some careful farming. But Fizz definitely coming out on top of the farm at the moment. Head over to the bottom lane. Some points. Very peaceful game in comparison. First blood hasn't even been spilled. We have an engage coming in mid lane with Fizz trying to get as much damage as possible. And it's definitely doing a good job of that. Fizz is going to take a little bit of damage in return, but nowhere as much damage as Zari is going to take at the moment. Pop out those gravestones as well. We had some blue team pings coming out. Cho'Gath's actually going to try to come from the engage. He's going to be spotted out by this ward, which hasn't quite expired yet. And the ping's coming out, so Fiora's actually going to back off at the moment. She's going to get silenced. She's going to get the pop up. And Garen was thinking about charging, but he's going to back off instead, which is probably the wiser decision to make. Red team going to drop a ward there as well, so replenishing both those wards in that area. We have Fizz about 3/4 away from his level 6, and Zara's a lot further away. So Fizz can probably lock down this kill if he just gets a little bit more XP. Yeah, the first blood actually being popped in top lane under Fiora. Looks like she went for the dive on the tower. Let's just see what happened here. She was kind of low. Cho'Gath is hanging in the bush. They're going to dive in. He's going to get silenced Q and E. She's going to try to go for the Riposte, and he's going to burn the flash and get the Q. Very good kill coming out from Garen, spilling that first blood at the moment. We're heading off to the middle lane, and we have the Zara just trying to poke out. She's close to 6, not as close as Fizz is, but she's actually going to come in from the engage. She's going to get the jump and pop up. The exhaust coming out, and that's going to be enough for the kill. Fizz is actually going to have to burn flash, but he might be able to get a counter kill here. He's going to get the ult down, and it's going to pop up. He's getting knocked up and silenced, but he should have enough damage to knock it out, and he's actually going to opt not to because he doesn't have much mana. While this is happening, we have the bot lane engage coming out. It is Leona and Volibear at the moment, taking a lot of damage. Draven's actually going to take a tower hit there. Now, Volley doesn't actually have his passive to my awareness. But very good lockdown coming out there. Draven actually will fall, and we'll get the counter kill on Leona, which is completely fine. But unfortunately, it's still going to fall in red team's favor, just slowly building up that gold lead at the moment. Good spinning damage out. Actually, it has finished her team out already, which is going to take a lot of fucking tower shots for what she did. Unfortunately. Very good damage coming out. We have the ult from Fiora actually popping out. She's going to flash. Trying to get a Justice coming out, and she is actually going to pop the vitals. That actually looks really cool. I feel like if she didn't auto attack cancel, she actually would have managed to kill Garen there. But unfortunately, Garen did manage to get that ult, which was enough. Control ward's gonna fall here. Very good hook coming out. Leona's actually gonna pop over at the moment. Be very careful. Ezreal getting some very good damage and fresh. Very good E. Juggling axes like a boss here. He's actually going to start turning it around. And Ezreal taking a lot of damage. Definitely the one he should be focusing in this engage. Draven showing who's boss already, and we've only just started. Draven actually playing a lot more aggressively now. Look at those axes fly through the air. I'm going to head over to the mid lane now and see how this is going. 35 CS to 69 CS. Zyra not having a very good time at all against Fizz. Especially now that Fizz has had a kill under his belt. Going to be very careful because Zyra's main weakness is always that she's been quite squishy, even for a control mage. So Fizz as an assassin will really be able to maximize on that. Now, Fizz doesn't have his ult at the moment. It's on quite a long cooldown. So she's relatively safe, but she should be careful because his ignite will be up at the same time as his ult, most likely. Heading off to the top lane, nothing much happening here, just a Q's there every now and then. Red team gonna kind of opt around, see if they can clear. Nothing really there. Pings from the red team popping out that blue team is missing. Draven just went back and bought some items. Draven just actually finishing his Corefield's Warhammer and his Vampiric Scepter. Not enough money quite to get his BF sword for her first, which is a pretty common build for him at the moment. We have the red team ping coming out. The ult has been engaged. He's going to get the one slide popping out and the Volibear ult. Garen's going to fall here, unfortunately. They're going to try to get a little bit of that juicy heal, even though neither of them want it. We have the ult from Ezreal coming out. Very good damage coming in from Draven. Very good counter ult by Fizz. Actually going to wrap up the Cho'Gath there. But Ezreal is also going to fall to Draven there. He's going to get some bit of gold now. Now, they're actually going to try to contest this. I don't necessarily think this is the best idea. Ignite coming out. It's going to pop up there at the moment. Volley's now coming from behind. He's actually going to probably manage to lock down him with the burn. They're going to get the full slow there because he's popped the Fresh's wall. However, they both should still have enough damage. Yes, the Rampage coming out on Fizz with the 4-0 lead. Mastery emote being popped out. And the ping for the Infernal Drake coming as well. Volibear will probably have to do that for himself. Cho'Gath is coming as quickly as he can. Interesting, this is the second game we've had so far where Cho'Gath hasn't been able to really get online. He's just been falling victim to high mobility champions, which is a pretty big risk for him, because just remember, Cho'Gath isn't necessarily a big kicker. So, he does have to be careful because you can go with the Chomp Smite, just exactly what he did. So blue team will actually get engaged, but Fizz is going to lock down another kill, making 5-0. He's actually sitting on about 2,500 gold. His net worth 4,900. Vastly sitting above Zyra in the middle lane, who's he actually has more gold in his pocket at the moment than Zyra has in completion. Ult back. Gold Lee starting to stretch out between them. Ooh. Just gonna hit the ward instead. In the top lane we have a bit of an engage coming out. Just looks like some gentle hits at the moment. Garen's tower is getting a little pressured. It's on about half HP at the moment. Fiora's tower is looking as healthy as ever. I'm going to go for a bit of a poke under the tower. I'm going to back off afterwards. He's going to probably heal that up straight away after a few more seconds. And it's definitely something worth considering. There we go. Passive going to start healing up. Health back up. Sorry. Pardon me. Let us continue. So, if we start looking at items, you can see that Ezreal will indeed actually be going for the blue field. Not as strong as it used to be. Most people still tend to opt for a fairly standard AD carry build for Ezreal, but the blue build will allow him to kite, which I think is a really important thing for him this game, especially when you look in comparison to the team comp which has been presented. Zara needs to start farming. She's increased CS to 106. Some disgusting damage coming out. Zara doing some very good control there. Cho'Gath's going to burn Flash, and I don't think that was worth it. I'm probably feeling a little desperate. Zara's going to be a little careful, because if Fizz does choose to opt backwards, he can probably kill her. But he's just going to strut back to lane for now, by the looks of it. All is well, all is well. Sounds so weird. In the bot lane, we have a bit of a fight coming on at the moment. Leona's going to fall, and she's going to miss the ult as well, which leaves Ezreal. Has to be very careful. Draven starting to rack in some of that League of Draven money. They're probably in a still good position to pressure, though the red team's coming down. I don't think they see this. They don't see this at all. Pressure's probably like, oh, I don't think we should stay here anymore. We have the Volibear coming in. We have the Fizz coming in as well. Now the ult's going to come onto Fizz. He's going to miss his ult as well. However, Draven's very cut off from the rest of them. A very good flash coming from Fizz, making sure that he's actually going to opt out. Now we do have the ult, and he's going to have to burn flash as well. Still pretty good. And Fizz not dropping a single kill yet. So even though he has a sizable bounty at the moment, there's not much the enemy team can do in ways of claiming that. That was a little risky play, but definitely rewarding. So he's got his Haunting Guys. He's really opting into magic penetration at the moment, which will probably go pretty well. And Zara trying to push up the middle lane at the moment. She should hopefully get some damage with the tower. It's not really looking that convincing at the moment, unfortunately. We've got the flash coming from Zara burning out already. Probably the right thing to do considering how immobile she is. But just remember, one of the core issues with Zara is that because she is so immobile, now that she's without flash, we actually have Thresh falling here at the moment. And Draven is very low. While this is happening, Fiora has actually fallen as well. You have three kills popping out, 2. From the blue team, just trying to pull that gold back. So everything happening at once. Sorry that we haven't been able to keep up on that. So let's see how everyone's going. Ezreal's nearly finished. Oh, he's got his Phage, which is good. He's probably a little behind. A Death's Dance already coming out for Draven. Interesting choice. But he's definitely ahead when it comes to items. Fizz actually missed the fish there, and Draven's going to get some very good damage off his tower. Towers might fall. He's only by himself. Caster minions are doing the work. But with the Ezreal ult, they may be able to stall that out just a little more. But it looks like the tower is going to fall and get the first turret of the game. So even though that blue team had a bit of a rough start, they've managed to lock down a few more kills than themselves. They've also managed to lock down the first turret of the game, which will probably pull them back a little more. Some pings coming out. Very good scry coming out from Fizz. Just keeping an eye on the team. So now they know that the two of them are there, and it's going to pull back into the lane. Now no one's there. The team doesn't know that Thresh is there. They know that Cho'Gath is coming up. The vision's about to disappear. I really don't. Blue team is also pinging out there, but they don't actually have any vision from that, which might be suspicious. I don't feel like they can actually get a kill here. Thresh is probably just going to stand around and give some pressure there. We swap back to the top lane. Volibear is chilling like a villain. Just waiting for something to happen at the moment. He's actually going to get fluffed at the moment. He's going to start Beyblading up. Disable's been reduced, and the slow's going to come. Fiora's actually pretty thirsty for this kill. Very early Justice coming out. I don't know if that was the right decision at all. Volibear's going to take up the majority of the damage, and he's actually going to lock that down. While this is happening, Fizz has also managed to lock the kill. They're going to go for a bit more damage. Essence Flux coming out, giving it a bit more extra speed. But looks like Zara is the only one to fall. We have the ult coming out. Just going to miss. It's always the constant argument of where do you want to ult as Ezreal. Turret's gonna fall as blue team, so back to 1-1. Shutdown actually coming on Fizz there. I'll be interested to see what happened there. Let's quickly jump back a few moments just to capture what happened here. So he's very low. He misses the E, gets a good W, and heals up. And then Fizz actually continues to walk. I feel like if Fizz actually stayed in the bush, so Draven had to get vision from him, he might have had a better chance to double back or something. It's a little unfortunate, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Good damage coming out from Draven. Very good kiting. He's going to get rooted. He's going to get thrown, and it's actually going to manage to get the kill. He is going to fall here. Exhaust actually is not stopping a lot of the damage, and Ezreal is going to have to back here. Going to have to be a little bit more careful about that. But one for one mid laner for 80 carry at the moment. Interestingly, already got the Banshee's Veil coming out, AP tank item. Probably has to just negate some of that, but oh, actually, I take it back. It's not that easily popped by Ezreal and co. I'm gonna keep hitting that tower, and Leona's just gonna give some damage back. She's actually gonna get hooked. She's gonna miss the E there, but she's got some very good plants which will be able to help. But she should be able to walk back. Talisman's being burnt there. He's gonna miss the ult completely. I don't know whether or not he'll actually be able to lock down the kill. Otherwise, we have Zara come across. He's gonna miss her combo completely. Hook coming in. Blue team getting the dragon while this is all happening. All being burnt by Zara for no regard whatsoever. It's a 2-minute cooldown, which is quite significant. We head over the top lane. See that red team, blue team have a bit of a with the flash coming out. Very bold by Garen, considering that Ezreal has 2 flashes. Even though one's on cooldown, he still does have his E. I don't necessarily agree with that as a decision, but it happens to the best of us. Oh, flash coming out. You can actually go for the engage here. Not much you can do there. Draven's actually finished his static shift, which is the much more common first item. So he's in a very good position at the moment. Now, blue team did ping that out. Blue team doesn't know that Fizz is coming down the river at the moment. Cho'Gath's going to see it. Very good silence coming out. He's actually probably going to die here. Draven going very good work. Fizz has just swapped in at. Looks like he just bought that. He might not have had a blue ward at the time. If he had a normal ward, it might have been good to chuck that in the bush as he was going. Just, you know, such is the way sometimes. Draven's going to use his ult to clear in the back. And they're looking to pressure the mid lane now because they can split push now with the AD carry. Now red team is pulling out that they're coming, but Thresh will actually pressure off Volibear. We're getting. Thresh is probably going to die here. He wants Draven to come across, but I think Draven's more like, I'm not really going to do that. Very good flash. There. Very good damage coming out. He's actually going to rip through that, even though he's got Furo result. Exhaust coming out. He's going to miss his axes, but that doesn't matter because we're going to get the kills. Now we're holding the top lane, and we've got the flash and the E popping out from Ezreal. Now they are both too low to continue, because they would have seen Fizz pop up. But very good team fights coming out from blue, really bringing that back at the moment. Like I said, we're starting to see the... It's weird, apparently my internet just dropped. Odd. Guess we'll find out. That was odd, just that my internet had dropped. But let us continue. While we continue. Sorry about that. So, tower did eventually fall, which is pretty good for them. This is really disconcerting, seeing no internet connection on the side.
A summoner has disconnected.
Pause should come out from that, hopefully. Twitch. Oh, my phone has normal internet, so I don't know what's going on. Alright, and my game's still playing, so let's go with the assumption that my internet is working and my computer is just skitzing out for whatever reason. Okay, we have a pause. as Kawaii Roof Senpai has DC'd, which is fine, happens to the best of us. This will give us some downtime to talk about the game at the moment. So you actually see that Draven has gone for the early Guardian Angel here. I don't know why I'm fucking yawning so much. Jesus Christ. It hasn't even been that long of a day. I woke up at like 3 o'clock. Jesus Christ. I'm up for 6 hours and I'm yawning. Oh dear. Anyway, so I got the Guardian Angel being brought out and he's feeling pretty secure at the moment in his pick. It's a bit of a it doesn't really help him that much against a lot of the team comp, because Ezreal mainly does magic damage and Leona mainly does magic damage and Fizz mainly does magic damage. With the 4 seconds of stasis should just allow him to play that a little bit riskier, because no one of those teams really has been dying too much. Everyone's got the same amount of deaths. In fact, the person who's died the most is Draven. When it comes to other picks around the game, you see that both Garen and Fiora, and they said Fiona, has opted for the Black Cleaver build. Garen not worrying too much about tank stats at the moment. He does have 2k HP and 114 armor, which he does get naturally quite well. Just being a little bit more aggressive because that's what he feels like his team needs, but I would have said his team needs a bit of a buffer. Red team definitely suffering from the lack of CC, which I've made note of throughout the game. Like, Leona's their only source of CC, so when Leona's not there, it's very difficult for them to actually stop Draven or stop Zarya, because they actually can't connect them because they've got some really good peeling coming on as well. What else can we talk about? Looks like Cho'Gath is just going complete tank, not worrying about AP. Ezreal's finished his Triforce, which is a pretty good power spike for him. When it comes to gold values, we have Ezreal's actually 4k gold behind Draven, but that's to be expected because he's like 6 kills up. Sorry, 7 kills up. Math's not my strong point. 7 kills up, and then also because of his passive as well, because he's been farming pretty well. Nothing's in the chats yet. Haven't heard anything. So you're still gonna have to be waiting while we discuss. Let's see what else can we talk about in the game. Vision. Blue team's actually got a lot of good vision on them, which is probably the one that's been helping them the most in this game. The reason why red team has had such a tough time springing them, despite Fizz being remarkably ahead, is that they've just had wards everywhere, so they've been able to pick up on rotations and so on. Versus red team, which has very minimal vision, mainly very defensive vision, while blue team has very aggressive vision in comparison. So we just have the reconnection popping back out. Pardon me. So hopefully we should be able to start this game in a moment. Baron is live. Dragon is not. I don't think. Hello? I agree. We are all sleepy. Jaden. But a pause cannot be helped. Despite him reconnecting. Right, we're all good, fam. We can stop me trying to fill the void. We're back into the game. Should all be fine now. So Iceborne Gauntlet coming out from Garen. He's actually going to start going that tanky route. Just want a bit of extra damage on the side. Deadman's Plate being finished up by Volibear as well. Leona's actually finished Iceborne Gauntlet, which is pretty decent against. So the AoE damage presented by Zara, even though she's a little bit behind. So ping's coming out on red team. Looks like they might be aware that our ward is there. And blue team pinging out here. Not remarkably impressed with this skin. Don't take it personally, right? I have a 22-minute game. This is very slow paced in comparison to the previous game we watched. Mainly because the game was already finished by now. This can probably put it down to a few gaps, but then lots of kills are happening at once. Everyone's pretty happy with farming. Now, Garen doesn't actually have much magic resistance at the moment, so you should be careful. A good silence, wasting it done. He's actually been able to sidestep. Gonna get another silence coming out. Now Volley's gonna pop back out and Talisman of Ascension is gonna be popped by Thresh. Blue team is all rotating around Dragon. They're gonna pop out and see the ward here. And dead. Very brave of them to actually consider Dragon. Now Draven is an early to mid game champion, but so is Ezreal, so they actually don't have much to lose by stemming this game out. So there's kind of that little bit of less incentive. Shoutcaster finishes Warmog's armor, which is going to make him a bit more difficult to deal with, and as I said, they don't have much percentage HP damage naturally, and they don't really synergize that great. Axe has got to disappear, just faded away in the nothingness, because that's how the coding works. And this is going to be able to jump away to safety. Now they do see Leona, not much they can do there. Blue top lane's pushing. Fiora is there. Fiora does have teleport at the moment. I'm going to try to clear out some wards. Dragon's about to spawn in 7 seconds. It is an Earth Drake. And most of the team is here. Garen's going to be specking out with Fizz at the moment. And Cho'Gath's going to go and secure that dragon while the rest of them try to secure this tower. Now Volibear's going to be rotating up. Very good engage coming out, burning the Abyssal. And the ult's going to hit not a lot of people. Very good ult coming out there. Draven's already going to instant pop though. Leona being very low. Getting an instant slow by Volibear. Very good ult by Thresh, making sure that counter engage wasn't going to happen. Dragon has just been about to secure it. Ezra's going to burn the ult and try to pull them back. Everyone's a little low. Have to be a little careful. Fizz is dead for 22 seconds. The only thing they had to worry about really is the assassin. And he's gone for at least another 15 seconds. So they should be able to lock this in. I feel like they'd be a little brave if they wanted to push in that tower, and they're going to take the smart decision and they'll push off. They're going to try to clear the bottom tower before it gets too much of a problem, because caster minions are quite strong, and they're going to clear the top lane as well. They have to be careful. They do have good vision on these two, and Talisman of Ascension is actually down. Leona's just hitting it with just the tip, and he's going to get an instant gift here. Now Cho'Gath has no mana. We've got the ult being popped out, and he's just going to be slowed. He's going to try to just strut away, but we've got the flip coming out, and now there's 4 of them here. Flash being burnt, probably should have held on to it at that point. Leona's going to get some very good damage, and he's going to fall. So Red Team actually managed to get something back from that engage, but at the moment they are still 3 dragons to no dragons. I think the other really important thing I want to say when it comes to Flash, and this comes especially with a lot of Korean players talk about Flash, is that you should only burn Flash if you think you can get away. If you're in a position where you're going to die, then you should hold on to it and just not burn it. It is one of the strongest spells in the game. Being able to reposition yourself, it is very uncommon in comparison to other games. You won't see Dota ever have something like that, and that's the game which is known for being OP. It's going to miss the ult there again. Very good E coming out, getting some very good damage. He's actually going to pull out the ult. Flash coming out. Ezreal having to burn Flash. He's going to get the silence as well. He's going to do a little bit damage there, but he's going to have to actually back off. yeah, you don't get that kind of repositioning abilities in the game very often. So you should really be trying to take advantage of it as much as you can. Otherwise, it goes to the 5-minute cooldown, and there is almost guaranteed going to be a time and place where you need to use that first. So we're going to clear out the control ward at the moment. And Ravet's there. Pop out, and Fresh is a pretty bad play. Zara's also here. She's going to get the double root. She's going to get some plants, but Fresh is definitely taking a lot of damage here. He's going to try to back him off. He's pretty low. But while this is happening, they are getting Baron. So this is just all stalling play. You're going to get the flash. You're going to get the damage coming out. Garen's actually taking a lot of damage here. Baron actually takes less damage from behind, so that's the position. They're actually going to get it. They're going to try to go for the steal, and Draven's going to chase afterwards. He did burn heal as well, but he's not actually going to be able to lock that down. So in the end, that was a 1-for-1, but blue team also gets Baron up. That's a really risky play to have that multitasking at the same time, but they still did a very good job in keeping their head and making sure there's very clear shot calling. Team's falling behind when they had a very secure lead at the start, so you're going to have to be very careful in making sure that this doesn't happen. Actually burn nothing and get away. Draven and Garen's just going to heal that bad boy right back up. I'm going to try to clear this out. Red team should be fine, but red team has to go mid to clear off the blue team push, the blue minions pushing. But it's not pressured by any inhibitors, so they should be fine. Game's going to quieten down for a little while. The laner's going to get some juicy ward money. Quieting down. Dodgewater Cutlass being completed out by Ezreal, so most likely he's going to go get Blade of the Rune King to try to help with him. Now his Q does synergize with Blade of the Rune King because it does apply on hits. This is definitely what they need because Garen and Cho'Gath are now quite tanky at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Fiora build into it as well. But they need some way to melt through these tanks because these tanks are starting to get a little obnoxious for them and they're having a lot of trouble trying to burn through them. Draven's heading towards Fiora in the bottom lane. You should be able to take her. She does have Guardian's Angel. Fiora is aware and will walk away. Not actually going to take that engage. Red team is coming behind Draven as well. There's all three of them. He's very separated from the team. Getting some disgusting damage coming out there. He's actually going to manage to get the kill. He is slow. This isn't starting to look very good. He's got some good damage. We've got a very good silence coming out from Cho'Gath at the moment. But Draven's Guardian Angel is going to get popped. 4-second stasis give him enough time to come through. And it looks like they're just going to back off now. So 1-for-0 at the moment. Somewhat decent trade, I suppose. But remember, Guardian Angel becomes a pretty useless item without its passive. Its stats are fairly mediocre. He's gonna actually miss the ult. No bump up. Very good silence coming out. Ooh, very low. Exhaust coming out. Very good ult coming out from Draven there. Didn't have to rely on Justice. Very good hook coming out from Fresh. I wonder if we're gonna see a feast or we're gonna see a Justice. We're gonna see a feast coming out. She's going to fall away there. Very good predictions coming out from the blue team. Some very good risk assessments coming out from the blue team. Starting about the sacrifice of the Guardian's Angel was worth the lockdown of 2 kills. Jupiter has fallen. Just going to fall away in his little shards and try to regroup. And the pings for the top tower being noted. Now their Baron has expired, which is fine. Ezreal's going to try to stop him by himself. I don't think it's cute. They've got 2 Earth Drakes and Infernal. So their damage to objectives at the moment is absolutely disgusting. Have to be really careful. Looks like they are going to drop back for now. Shoutcaster is going to lock in the second Infernal Drake for the match, which is quite significant, I do believe. And voila. So 2 Infernal Drakes now. He's quite low. Gonna get a very good knock up. He's gonna have to burn Flash. See, that's an example of good Flash because he knew that he was gonna get out and didn't know where everyone else is. Now, 2 Infernal Drakes is quite a lot of damage. It's actually plus 16% attack damage and ability power. So, red team has to be very careful because that's not the kind of damage that they'll be able to make up for items. Both sides are 16 slots. Both sides are 6 slots. Then they're going to come out ahead. Now, Ezreal should be fine. But he is a listed villain here, so he should be careful because true damage is true damage. Fizz is going to come across. He's going to throw out the ult. Sable is reduced though, because that's just what Garen does. He's actually going to start taking a lot of damage. Ignite's going to come through. He's probably going to fall here. I don't think he's going to have this. While this is happening, or these two are chasing, they're actually locking in the tower there. Draven getting some very good damage. He's actually going to get shut down there. Just 3 versus 1, not quite enough. They did lose one of the towers though. Bit of a miscommunication there, because as you can see, one was there, one was there, one was there, one was there, one was there. They're not actually grouping up as a team. I feel like if they actually made a decision together to push down that mid lane while they were creating space, that actually would have worked out a lot better for them, and they might have actually been able to finish the game. But because Draven, and as head as he was by himself, he wasn't able to push as much as he wanted to, which is fine. It happens. This is what we're here for, is to give them advice. 4 dragons to nil. Older dragon will be coming up soon. More importantly, Baron will be coming up in 60 seconds or less. From a vision perspective, blue team has no vision, and neither does red team, which is a really big thing which happens late game for a lot of low elos, is that they tend to forget about warding. If anything, warding is the most important, because from 35 to 40 minutes onwards is when the death timings become quite insane. And it's one of the things that people bitch about in League of Legends the most, and also a little bit in others, is that once you reach a certain point of the game, one person can die, and then that's it. And a lot of that can be countered through vision. Wards save lives, people. We give out bans at events literally saying that. subtle plug. This is fun. Fizz is actually managed to lock down that bottom tower. It's going pretty well, actually. So they're starting to ice back some objectives. Blue team has to be very careful because they're not out of the woods yet. This game can still swing either way. Righteous Glory has been done on volley there. Now, red team does not know that this is happening. They can make it probably a fair assumption that this is happening. All they can see is Garen. Let's watch this from red team's perspective and see what they do. The ward's being popped out here, and Fizz isn't here at the moment. Garen's running down to the Baron pit, and as you can see, Ezreal did burn the ult. However, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Fizz has just finished his Lich Bane, which is a pretty significant power spike for him. So I would definitely say that that's a little slow for him. He's going to continue split pushing. He's getting some disgusting damage on the tower. Despite Baron being fallen, he's actually probably going to get 2 towers by himself. And he's just going to back off. In the mid lane, we actually have Fiora killing out Zara. Garen slowly pushing through. Blue team miscommunicating. It just feels like they're not making decisions as a team anymore. Gold is slowly increasing for the red team. It's now 59k to 64k when they originally had an 8 to 9k lead. This is not looking good for the blue team at all. Ezreal's sitting on 1800 gold, so he can probably finish that Bilge Water Cutlass into an item very soon. Everyone else, Fizz is sitting at another 1000, Fiora is sitting at another 1700. So these are all items which are really helping them. Blue team is running into the position where they probably left the game hanging on a little too long. Even though Ezreal's early to mid, so they don't have much to lose to stretching out. Fizz and Fiora tend to only ramp up more as the game continues. They need to make some very smart decisions very quickly now, especially because they do have well, they had Baron. Yeah, they do have Baron. Now they have Baron, not to be caught out by themselves.
Rampage.
But the Rampage coming out, Fiora's actually going to finish Cho'Gath in a 1v1 there. Starting to look very grey. The tank's out for 46 seconds at the moment. They can probably start to pressure other lanes if they want. Draven's actually looking to 1v1 the Fizz. bait that out. Now Fizz should see these guys. Looks like they're gonna back out. Probably make the assumption that someone's nearby. There's the only 4 of them. Fiora and Ezreal, Fiora and Fizz are ramping across. They're pinging out for assistance. They know where he is. They know the general whereabouts. He actually managed to get the red buff and he's just going to burn away straight. I don't know where he is at the moment. Might try to go for the cutoff. He's actually going to go the long way. No, don't go that way. He's actually managed to slip away. Very good play coming out from Draven. Keeping a cool head. He's actually going to look like he's going to try to go for this engage. Lunchtime popping out. Let's be very careful. He's going to miss the E and he's actually going to die. Very good damage coming out from Fizz there. We have Fiora coming up. Ooh, I think the burn might be enough to finish Fizz. Yeah, no. He's actually just going to make it. The ult coming out. Draven popping off once again in a 1v1 situation. Fiona taking out some damage. I think the ult was just popped by Fiora actually not going through because of the Banshee's Veil. Very good damage to CC coming out from blue team. And a pop Zyra's Guardian's Angel, and she's probably in the wall here as well with the chomp chomp coming down on the Fiora. The 1-for-1 AD carry for top laner. I still would take that trade personally. The Elder Drake is live at the moment. Pardon me. So at the moment everyone is probably starting to reach towards their 6 slotted items. Fizz only has 1 more item to finish there. Garen, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only really has his boots and 1 other. Draven's done. Ezreal still has to replace his Doran's blade with something. He's definitely still getting there. Morello Nomicon being finished by Fizz. So other than Doran's, he's pretty much nearly finished all of this game. Red team pinging this out. They do know that this is happening. Fresh actually taking a sizable amount of damage because they're actually going to stand there. They're going to get this Elder Drake. Ooh! Oh! The steal coming out from Ezreal. Now they actually don't get any bonuses from the dragons per se. But they will get the true damage burn, which is still significant. Poor things. Let's jump back 15 seconds. Let's jump back another 15 seconds, I feel. AC. So Smite came out just at a poor time. Cho'Gath did have Feast, but by the looks of it, just really couldn't get it off in time. If you see the Ezreal ult coming towards you, it's probably a good position to hold on. We see Garen by himself again. He's not going to die here. Underestimating the true damage burn popping out from there, dying in a wonderful green field of fun. Blue team has to be very careful because of that true damage burn now. They're actually going to manage to get Draven. It's going to get popped for half of his HP. We do have the 1-for-1. No, Ezreal actually managed to get out. That was a 1-for-1 though, but they are still 2 people down and they still have the true damage burn to accommodate for. So, Cosmic Ascension being burnt here. Very good pop-up about to come up from Zyra, but blue team absolutely ruined by red team, just kiting effectively. Red team popping up. We're going to have some CC coming out, and very good double kill from Ezreal popping out. That's the phrase, you're going to have to stop using so much popping out. Ezreal reading this really well, and he's actually going to manage to get the kill, making that a triple kill. Now, no lane is really truly pushing their way, but they're going to start pushing at the bottom. The crazy thing about that, I suppose, is that Fiora wasn't there for that team fight. They managed to do that themselves. They're all in a very good position now, especially now that Ezreal has finished that Blade of the Rune King. Volibear is also a pain to deal with because he actually has Fawn Mail now as well. And Leona actually just finishing her boots. They managed to get this tower. They can probably get the Garen if they want. We have Root coming out. Gonna get the stun. Overlaying CC a little, but that should be fine. Leona's got a next stun coming up in a few seconds. They should be able to actually, yep, EQ. She's going to take a lot of damage from Draven though, so they're actually going to have to come and back off now. Draven's actually going to come and go with the Blood Rush, and he's going to try to catch the next axe. He's going to get a very good ult coming onto Draven, a very good ult coming out by Ezreal as well. He's actually going to manage to get the double kill popping out. Ezreal just doing absolute work. While this has been happening, Fiora will be pushing mid, which is very low in mana and probably won't be able to push that in. However, Fizz is coming up. Ezreal is starting to run a little low in mana, however, but they should still be able to pressure this without an issue. Elder Dragon is just about to run out, so they should try to get as much damage on this as they can, which they will be able to. Got the ult coming out onto Thresh. It's going to get a pop up. Going to do a lot of damage here. Have to be very careful, but very good play of the Root King coming out from Ezreal. Volibear's going to fall due to the feast, and he's going to get popped up, and the silence. They're going to be very careful. He is slowly chewing through his health. Draven's up for another 20 seconds, so they should be able to get this. Very good Zonya's coming out. He's actually going to manage to get the dodge. Popped in airborne and silence probably is going to do the best. Now they do have 10 seconds and 7 seconds on Garen, so they should be able to lock down this inhibitor, and the smart thing to do would be able to leave immediately, which they're going to do. Now Baron is live at the moment, so if the red team could probably push for it, but Thresh will be up at the moment. Blue team doesn't have any vision on it. Yes they do. They have this bad boy. Watching it at all times. Blue team is running towards this as fast as they can. They do have the added advantage, and they're going to start it off. Now, red team probably won't be able to actually react to this in time. I don't feel. They've got very good damage. They've got the double, they've got the smite coming up. Ezreal's ult will be a way to have the teleport coming out from Fiora. She's going to take so much damage. She's going to pop her Guardian's Angel on a 4-second stasis. Is probably not what you want at this time. She is going to die. Very good ult coming out from Leona, but she's going to have to back off as well. Bit of a rough position. Very good ult coming out there. Zyra's probably going to actually die here. Oh. Logo Solara actually covering up with most of the health, and blue team is going to manage to insta-give her. Now, death timers aren't looking really good at this point. It is 37 seconds, double kill coming out from Draven. They're in a position to probably push and win this game. The damage coming down from the blue team. They're going to try to lock down the Draven the best as they can. Stoneplay coming out. Draven's going to fall. That's probably just enough to finish the game, especially with Cho'Gath chomping down on the Ezreal. Very good game coming out from both sides. It's good to see that Maroon team actually managed to secure that win in the end. However, they probably could have secured this win about 20 minutes earlier if they didn't throw it. But both teams played very well. Green team managed to pull back the game where they could, and played the second half of the game very well, and it was just one of those one or two mistakes at that late game with the minimal of vision. If they had better vision, they could have made better decisions, which cost them the game ultimately because of the long queue timers. But having that Ruthless Dragon control and Ruthless Baron control also 100% helped Maroon team lock that down as good as they can. So that's game 2 of tonight. Game 3 will be soon. Let me swap over here. I should stop putting my webcam on first. Hey. Is my seat down? Is that the problem? I don't even think it's my seat. I don't remember my my thing being this high. What bigger issues? The last game will be green versus purple. And I will get that set up, and I will keep you guys on top of it and let you know. I'll see you guys soon.
There's a fire that burns inside. It's an instinct that never lies. The target's tattooed between our eyes. Stand and fight under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Watching through your eyes. There's only two options: win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. And ignite. There's a power that's underneath, and you can't see it till you believe. On the edge of infinity. Feel the rush under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Everyone's watching through your eyes. There's only two options: win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. Ignite, ignite, ignite. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so As a child, you would wait and watch from far away. But you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. In youth, you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. The time will come when you will have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above. But don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town.
my light puns would have brightened your day. As you wish.
Bone is a poor alternative.
Draven out.
A turn.
Learn from your mistakes.
I haven't unmuted myself this entire time. Really bad for that. I should really pick that up. And also, this webcam positioning is actually starting to get to me a little. Okay, that's much better. It's much more secure. Now, as I was trying to say, and also, hold on. That's where we're at, fan. The throwdown. Anyway. Janet ban, obvious. Shield meta really strong. Draven ban, respect ban. See the previous game. Riven ban, respect ban. Lux ban, not really good in the current meta though. Good Lux is something to be reckoned with. Blitzcrank is really good because in the late game you only have to hit something once and then they're dead. Annie being burnout is really safe mid pick. Not the strongest. Not the worst either. Can always tend to go really well as long as you manage to hit your abilities. That's fine. Mainly respect bans coming out. You'll see about the Rumble teams are starting to get more confident with who they're playing with. Ezreal being locked in, Bard being locked in as well. So Bard's actually popped out as a ban in previous games as well, so this is a good thing to see being picked out because we can finally understand why he's been banned so much. Ezreal's also been let through. Now his Ezreal, I wouldn't necessarily say was the best pick that I've seen. He did well, but he didn't like Draven outclassed him by far, and I just feel other AD carries which are open, such as Twitch and Tristana, would outclass him. But once again, like I've mentioned multiple times, it's who you're more confident with playing.
Not a problem.
Misfortune ban coming out. Misfortune is actually went really well early in today, but that's more of a team comp kind of pick, which I don't really feel like they're opting for. They could be, because they do have a Jarvan, Nami, and Sejuani, which is a lot of lockdown. So it's kind of understandable why they want to ban, because at this point of the banning phase, you want to be trying to ruin the enemies.
You don't have
picks. We have the Lucian ban coming out, which I thought was odd. The Cho'Gath ban I understand, because Cho'Gath's been quite a common pick throughout this entire Rumble tournament today. But the Lucian one I'm a little confused about, because I wouldn't have necessarily said Lucian fits in with the meta. We've got the Twitch ban coming out as well, which is I think is a pretty fair ban compared to Misfortune. We have Vayne being picked out. Vayne is not going very well in this current pick at all. It'll be interesting to see how she goes. They're not that tanky of a team, so I don't think her true damage passive nor her normal itemization is actually going to help out that much. We have Gragas being picked up. Gragas was very successful on the monthly land, just with the amount of stuns. He's also been a pretty good pick at the moment. Riot's actually looking to nerf whether or not he can do his flash disable. So we have Syndra, who's actually managed to get out, which is surprising. And Syndra's going to be locked in as well. Jarvan and Vayne, both very squishy characters, and you have to be very careful of that Syndra. It'll be interesting to see who gets picked, because they have the mid counter pick, last pick coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And we have Orianna being hovered over. So mage versus mage. I was more surprised to see no assassins there, but that's fine. That happens to the best of us. Sometimes you just misread it. Pardon me. So, let's look at the team comp. So we have Jarvan, Nami, Sejuani, Vayne, and Orianna. This is a very optimal control-based team comp. So they want to be able to lock someone up or lock the team up, and then while this is all happening, let Jarvan, Four, and Vayne output as much as damage as possible to separate them. They also have really good counter engage, because if they get engaged in a poor position, they have Orianna who can separate them, or Sejuani. They have multiple options to use Orianna's as well. They have Sejuani, J4, even Vayne as well. Even it's a really shitty idea to do is make her use Final Hour, Q in, and then ult. It's just really funny to watch. So I really admire how J4, Nami, Sejuani, Vayne, and Orianna is a multifaceted team comp control-based team. And we look over to Ezreal's Turn Down for Lunch and the rest of them. We have what I would say is a pick-off team. You have Gragas who can cut people off from the rest of the team. You have Volibear, who's very good at chasing down and locking down single target. You have Syndra, who just points at someone and they die. And then you have Ezreal as well. So honestly, I think I like J4 and Co's team more. I think it's very flexible. Of course, sometimes when you have too many options, you can get a little put off, which I think happens to the best of us. But I really honestly think that this is the best team comp for this match. So we'll be running into our last game for today. We will continue listening to some music. I'm going to finish eating my mandarin. Don't take it personally. So enjoy the next 2 minutes while we load into the game. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick into the final game for the night. Once again, I'm Damion Darksky. I have my own YouTube channel. I've linked it in the chat already. Other than that, next week I should also be on the table, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. No, actually next week I probably won't be able to make that one. I should be able to make the couple of Fridays after that. That's okay. Got to mix it up. Got to keep that talent flowing. As for skins, we have one skin. Just the one skin. Versus 1, 2, 3. I think that's traditional move. 3. At least 3 skins. They're going to lose either way. Completely based off skins. Lots of pings coming out. Red team just having their own little fun. They're about to get a very big surprise because blue team's actually going to go for the invade, which is uncommon. They're going to keep going. Going to take a little bit of damage from Oriana.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I'm actually going to back off. Red team is coming across here. Good damage coming out. Sejuani is actually going to miss. Q coming out from Vayne. Some very good damage onto Gragas there. And blue team's gonna put that was a Dota Shackle shot right there. Hits across from there, links across there. Nice. I'm glad to see that their coding bases are exactly the same. I wouldn't expect anything different. Gragas is actually gonna back. He should be able to make it back. He's like 15 more seconds to come back to the lane, but he's the mid laner anyway, or top laner, so not to stress. So we should see how we're going. They keep pinging him with it like murder someone's shot. Very good stun coming out. Oh, look at that animation. Dead animation. And bang. Oh boy. Let us continue with normal casting. We're in the mid lane matchup, Oriana versus Syndra. Oriana goes fairly okay against Syndra. She's got some shields and she can also poke Syndra away from a distance. Relies on Syndra being able to close the gap. You can see damage is pretty even. Gragas does J4. Gragas does a lot of damage. J4 has a little bit of self-restoration in his kit, so he shouldn't fare too badly. It just has to be careful about trades like that because Gragas is a little squishy early on, and J4 is known for bringing the pain. Right on the bot lane, Ezreal, Bard, Vayne, and Nami. This isn't actually a combo I'm very familiar with, I must admit. Vayne does benefit significantly from that extra added damage that Nami can give. So it shouldn't be too bad. While Bard doesn't offer that much in terms of accelerating Ezreal's kit. It does offer some heals, which is fine. But honestly, for the heals, you should be leaving them to full charge anyway. Most important thing for Vayne here is the farm. Well, we've got some very good damage coming out. J4 is actually going to have to burn his flash, and the flash being burnt in return, and first blood's going to be dropped, and it's going to go to Volibear. He didn't actually have... No, he did have vision. He knew it was coming. He probably should have just reacted to it a little faster at that point, because if you see Volibear here, especially when it's in a bush, you really don't have that much of an excuse. But it is fine. Oriana are a little low. You can actually see the Volibear. Push away, he's just going to get some deep vision to help him out. Get some chimes there. He's going to magical journey. Try to get some good damage there. Bard's coming across. Very good shackle coming out. Not sure if I agree with the angling necessary. Vayne has to be pretty careful. She is going pretty low. And Bard's just going to cut across there and get those heals that he's prepared earlier. Legend. It's a very organized chef at this point. Vayne's going to have burnt her cookie already, but with Nami she should be able to heal all the way back up. Blue team's is farming a lot better at this moment in time, and the kill popping out has also helped them up. I slap myself every time I say popping out. Really bad. Shackle going to miss. In the mid lane, Syndra's pulled into tower. Pretty good thing to do because Syndra's under tower farming isn't necessarily the best. I think it's okay if she has to burn a bit of mana to do it and ruins her ability to engage. Nami's quite low. She's got the red warning, a little red warning. She's actually out of mana, which I think is the worst thing. You won't actually be able to get much of an engage on here, and Ezreal's going to jump back before. In the mid lane, we have the Oriana falling. Looks like a pretty close engage there. We're just going to jump back so we can see. You have Orianna, pretty confident at this point. She's going to come from the opposite side. He's actually not going to get the stun, only the airborne. It is enough to lock down the kill anyway. It's just unfortunate for her, she wasn't on the side with any vision and her other ward had just expired. Bad luck from there, and Syndra's going to be backing. Fortunately, Syndra only got the assist, so it's not that too far of a gold ahead. Now, blue team's going to see this come across, but see Bard actually getting blocked up here. Syndra actually going to try to get there, but looks like has to be very careful because he's going to get that heal. He's going to get the double heal actually, and he's actually going to manage to get away. Bit of a miscommunication coming down on the red team. I feel like Ezreal was well and truly gone at that point, and they should have focused on that choice there. Unfortunately, that has thrown away a kill, and blue team's lead is going to continue to grow. A bit of a fight happening out, as I suspected. Gragas's natural healing is keeping up a little better. It's very low. He's going to EQ away. He's going to actually try to burn the flash, which I think was a little, what's the phrase I'm looking, a little optimistic. Red team's going to keep pushing through at the moment. Blue isn't that far away, the jungler. They just have to be careful for the loop around. Spain's getting some decent farm. She's 41 to Ezreal's 36, so it's not like she's going poorly. She's sitting on about 1,300 gold, so at that point she's actually going to go back. Now, this is one of my favorite backing animations, so we're going to watch it. It's really cool. And off she goes. Heading off back into the mid lane, both of them have just hit 6. So Syndra's 6 is probably just a little stronger because Orianna needs some setup, whereas Syndra can just like smash her out, which happens. Just gonna see with the red ping coming out there. Bard is hanging around, so he's gonna try to get that. Orianna's gonna throw out a Q, but it's not gonna be able to help much, and he's gonna pick up that sweet 30 gold. There you go, got the teleport being burnt out. Gragas is only has bought an Ninja Tower. Now, interesting choice. Probably will help mitigate a bit of his damage. Oh, we have Bard, we have a bit of a scrap dying here in the middle actually, but Orianna possibly also in a bad position. Her shield's just going to save her there. As the top lane, we have a bit of a scrap coming out. He's going to blow out the Demacia. His shield coming out, probably just going to be enough to save him. Very lucky. A little bit more damage there. I feel like if he was out of mana for the shield, J4 is actually going to fall there. But that should help equalize the lane a little now. This is 38 CS to 34, plus a kill up now, so that should definitely help him. Map is getting lit at the moment, even though red has been falling a little bit behind. They're being very active on the kills have helped them even up the scores a little, which is pretty good for them. Early there, I would have fought Nami. We do have coming in from behind. He is very low, but a very good shackle shot coming out from Bard there is going to lock down that kill. Now Nami is going to back off and will be actually able to manage to get away without a single problem. Blue team is pinging out Dragon at the moment. It is an we've had a lot of Infernal Drakes tonight, so I have to make sure that it's almost planned. And they're going to pop open those sweet, sweet honey fruits. And speaking of fruit, I had a mandarin just saying there was more seeds than fruit, and that's definitely feels bad there. Dragon is going to be locked up at the moment. Probably going to be able to get it. Volibear's happy to tank that one out, and no one's really that close to being tested. Infernal Drake of the match will be going to the blue team. Good damage coming out onto Orianna in the mid lane. Getting some really good return damage there. Actually going to miss her stun, but we've got coming in. She's going to miss the ult. Not looking good, but we have red. Going to throw out the ult. Very good stun coming out. Slow popping him afterwards. She might be able to get a bit of damage here. Especially with the exhaust coming out, she's actually going to fall here, and a double kill going to go to Syndra. Once again, demonstrating how difficult it is to press R. Kid, I sound really salty. I've just been at the bad end of Syndra many times. Probably going to be able to lock in this middle tower as well. Especially with Volley there. Oh, they might actually, because she's winning. This is one of the questions you have to ask yourself from like a strategic point of view. Yes, you can get this tower, but Syndra is actually winning lane quite heavily. So arguably it is more beneficial to stretch out the laning phase so that you can push out the middle tower more effectively. No other tower is really reasonably close to falling, so you're not actually risking the first tower gold as well. The only real reason why you'd stop that is because you're in a position that keeping the lane open will strategically sacrifice you others from too much. I hope that made sense. That last ending sentence was really poor. He's actually farming better than Ezreal at the moment. He's trying to kill behind, but he's doing pretty well to keep up. There's no vision on the bottom lane at the moment, so they do not know that she is coming. Got the very early exhaust coming out. Gonna pop the E. Very good ult. Okay, I'll underlay that. A very okay ult coming out from Bard, enough to stall the engage out. Nami trying to go for the read, unfortunately, not quite being enough. Very good damage coming out from Bard. He actually fucked up the flash. Sorry, a little there. But very careful. The ward was just used then. In a pretty poor position. She's just going to charge over the wall and continue along her merry way. The three of them now know Syndra is there. I'm going to go for the ult. Not much damage being done. Most of it being thrown up on the thing. Very good throw coming out there, but just going to survive from the heal and the shield coming out on Orianna. Honestly, that was a position where she probably should have died. But that's the way it goes. Gragas will also be burning his teleport once again. He'll be jumping off to that lane, and Syndra will be going back to her lane as well. Damage coming out from Vayne. Vayne's sitting on 870 gold. I wouldn't have necessarily said the best amount of money to go back on, but this is her prerogative. She's actually going to get a finish off part of her static shiv. She might have thought that might be unable to get any more advantages from that. We head up to the top lane. Not much happening here. Gragas is starting to get a little tanky, but J4 is definitely still bringing the pain, especially with that Tiamat now. We'll still keep getting damage. Sejuani's actually going for the Rift Herald at the moment. She's very tanky, so she should be able to do most of this damage. She's going to get some help from J4 as well, which I think is completely fine. Interestingly, a lot of people don't ward for Rift Herald early on because not a lot of teams are taking advantage of this as much as they should be, especially considering how disgusting it is. He's running in the bush. Yeah, he's gonna just dive away. Should be perfectly safe. On the bottom lane, looks like they're pressuring the tower, and Ezreal and Bard are just staying. Interesting to see where they choose to use this. Called the Void. So Sejuani's the one that has it, so she just has to be careful not to waste it. J4 not paying any attention whatsoever. He's actually finally going to come down now. And once again, I'd be pretty salty if I was Syndra, because that's 3 times Orianna should have died. And she hasn't. But we have the wraparound coming from the AD carry and the support. She doesn't have ult. And we've got the final hour being popped here as well. She's going to burn Flash very early. Probably going to manage to lock down the kill with it going to support, funnily enough. That's a pretty effective way of ganking his Vayne as well, if you can manage it, is that you wait in the bush, come to about here with vision still cut off, and then tumble in, and it gives you that little bit more relax. Gonna take a little bit of damage here. Shackle shot not coming out. Gonna take a lot of damage from Bard there, thanks to the meeps. These meeps are gonna come back. Oh, one little meep. Yeah. Oh, whispering weeds me out. Look at him. Look at him go. How cute they are. Anyway, head off to the top lane. J4's just chilling at the point. No towers have fallen yet. This is easily the longest game so far. We've had a single tower fallen, 15 minutes. I'll remind you that the first game of the night had 20 minutes where nearly all the towers gone. But that happens at the time. Vayne's still heading off the mid lane. She's on 986 gold, so she has enough to finish her next item. So we're going to back up now with Syndra's return. Syndra's got lots of pieces for her items, not any full items, whereas Orianna, despite having 2 kills down, is finish her Morello Nomicon as the first item. A lot of people don't like to rush boots as their first item mainly, and the main reason for that is that there's items with better stats. Red team will be locking in this dragon. Blue team not really in a position to contest at the moment because Gragas is at base. Gragas is at base. We'll be able to lock this in. Very strong. Ezreal's going to try to go for the steal. Oop. Nice. Managed to kill. Very good stun coming out there. Red team's going to destroy the first turret while this is happening. Dragon's going to be chilling here, dealing damage. Very good meme damage coming out here. Volibear's finally joined. She's going to go for the smite, but unfortunately Volibear's going to lock it in. She might be able to get away here. Yes, we're going to decide to back off instead of following that. But very good pressure by blue team. Managed to pressure that in. Lock in a kill and continue. Not like red team came out without any advantages, so they did get the first turret of the game. Blue team is now 2 dragons up, 2 infernal drakes up, so that's like an extra 14%, I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head. 16%. Oh, we have... Oh well, people can assume what happened here. Probably taking a little bit of damage there. She's gonna fall for that. Another important concept, I suppose, which is very common, is that sometimes, everything's happening at once. Very good lock up. She's gonna have the exhaust. She's going to get stunned as well. She's gonna go final hour, go for the flash, and she's gonna manage to get the kill. She's definitely on the wrong side of the map now, and the question is whether or not he can go to this. Bard's backing off. Syndra's now coming across as well. Poor read by Bard, won't actually manage to get the shackle shot. But the slow there and the jump will probably mean he's going to die. Yes. So in the end, that was a 3-for-1 for the blue team. Yeah, blue team just seems to be making better decisions and being able to lock down most of kills. I would have liked to watch a lot of them, but unfortunately they all happened at the same time at different points in the map. Anyway, Orianna's going to try to lock up. I haven't quite lost faith in red team's lineup. Both Orianna and Vayne can take a bit to scale on, and they haven't really had a chance to team fight properly. But they have to be careful. They're only 4,000 gold behind at this moment, but they have to be careful not to lose the opportunity, which has happened a lot to the first game with Sevilla, when even though they had what I would have said a better team comp, because they kept losing team fights over and over again, they lost their opportunity to exploit that. Teleport coming out, very good ult from Orianna, being able to lock that out. We had the fight coming out here with J4. J4's just going to get ulted there. He's going to die while this is happening. Ezreal has fallen to Sejuani and Vayne. But in the top lane, blue team has managed to lock down another kill on the red team Orianna. So that was a 2-for-1. In the end, blue team making good decisions on multiple parts of the map at the same time. Vayne exploiting that fun little instant roll on the corner there. At this point it is a function. She's gearing up for her ult. It's on 10 seconds. Vayne going for very good side step, that poor minion. Ooh! Syndra actually mistiming that, but that's fine because she's not going to be able to, she's stuffing that up. Impure thoughts coming through. Very careful, she is done. Very good shutdown coming from Vayne. Very good shackle shot coming through Bard as well. Lock that in. Baron will be spawning in about 35 seconds or so. Good coming out. Ezreal's Vayne's most likely going to die here. She's managed to get a Q off. Now Sejuani is in a very poor position. Am I muted again? No, I'm not. That's good. so this is fine. Blue team's slowly pushing ahead. Equal in towers. Next dragon's going to come up in a minute 30 though, and the next dragon is I think that's air. Which will probably help them rotate a little better. Cuties. Yawn coming out. I haven't been able to stop yawning this entire stream, and I have no idea why. Got the red buff. We'll be going over to volley. From items, Iceborne Gauntlet's been finished off by Citizen Whining. Oh, we've got a bit of an engage coming out. It's going to be insta-give there. He's going to get stunned. He's probably going to fall here actually, and a bit of an early ult coming out from Oriana, which is definitely going to cost a little there. The 2 kills there, but definitely could have been avoided. We're going to have the flash coming out, and Syndra's going to get the ult. Slowing field's not going to really help there much. Ezreal's going to wrap out the ult. Very good damage coming out. Gavane going full Gosu here. She's actually going to fall down to the Ezreal. Now we've got some good kiting coming out. Sejuani is going to jump and she's going to flash. And they're going to opt not to chase. Opt for the middle tower push instead. I think it's going pretty well. This dragon's coming out at 12. Blue team is strangle holding this match at the moment with 6,000 gold in. Bit of an engage. J4 is going to go in because he probably thinks he's alone, but he's not alone at all. He's going to try to flash back. They jump went a little AWOL there, but managed to get it. While this is happening, Bard's actually wanting to support, demonstrating. Ooh, very good ult coming out. She's going to actually manage to get her ult off as well, but that's not going to be enough to save her. Meepo's wrong gang. Meepling is definitely demonstrating how strong they can be. She's in a very poor position. There's enough of them to cycle around the tanking. Very good attempt on Vayne there. I don't think she could have done anything else in that position with the tumble one way and flash the other. That was definitely the right decision to make. It's just unfortunate that there's 4 of them and 1 of her. Oriana missing another ult. That's 3 ults she's missed this game. Another bit of a rough game. She's going to die here as well. Turn down for lunch, getting a beautiful ult on top of all the other plays. That's a gorgeous ult coming out from Sejuani, though. At the burst flashes, 2 kills coming out already. We've got beautiful damage coming out. Red team's getting very low and they have to be careful. With Volibear cleaning up behind the team. Volibear's actually going to keep going. He's probably going to be able to get the 2nd kill as well. But now Vayne has joined the fight. We have 3 kills. There's 3 deaths to 3 deaths. We've got the shackle shot coming through and she's going to back off. Interestingly, Syndra wasn't there for that team fight. Syndra too busy getting the blue buff. And I really feel that they probably would have won that a lot better if they did, but it's a demonstration of how quick far they are at the moment. They managed to do this 1v1 nonetheless. Red team needs to start to think. J4's got 2 of his items now. He's got is that Ravenous? Yeah, Ravenous Hydra and Black Cleaver. Nami's got her Ardent Sensor, which is a pretty big spike for her. Vayne's got a Static Shield. Nothing much else there. Ezreal's already got his Triforce and the Mana Moon. Darius has Iceborne Spirit Visage. Syndra has Morel, Nomicon, Ludens, and also a needlessly large rod. So it's all coming together. Ezreal's not in a good position by himself. Syndra's going to wrap around. Fine. She's going to get stunned there, but she just did take a lot of damage. But not in a good position at all. Very good shackle coming out. They're actually going to throw the ult, but that was very gorgeous counter ult there. Shackle just missing, and some more damage coming out. Very good concentration here at the moment. Van's going to come in for the counter engage, and we have Nami blowing hers. Bard's still pretty low at the moment, and Volibear this entire time will be securing the dragon. J4's coming down now. A bit of damage coming out. Oriana's at half HP. Finally, she hits her ult, manages to get some damage on the Syndra, but it's not quite enough. J4 has joined the fight. J4 has gone for the engage. He's actually managed to lock up a lot of people. He's probably going to get a triple kill here if he's lucky. He's going for triple kill. He's actually going to go through Bard's portal and he's going to get the quadra kill there. Absolutely gorgeous counter engage by red team there. while this is happening, Volibear has just been persistently going. He's actually still going to manage to get the dragons, legendary dragons. However, this could be the pentakill, a very delayed pentakill. Popping out, he's going to get stunned, he's going to get jumped up. And no delayed pentakill, because the Damion nicks it out of time anyway. Very good engaged by red team. That should really have pulled them in from a gold perspective and also from a psychological perspective, because really that's probably exactly what they needed. Oriana's had a bit of a rough game. Vane's had a bit of a rough game. J4 is 7-6 at the moment, so he's probably had the best game. But this is really good for the rest of the team to really bring them back in. They're going to clear off this top lane though, and it looks like they're actually going to push straight for Baron as well. They're actually going to really push this advantage. Blue team picking this out. I don't think blue team actually has any vision. They do now. Now they have to make the decision whether to stick with it or not. Sejuani's very low, so Sejuani's going to back off. And J4 just surviving with 1 HP. But very good ult coming out, which will slow that engage. She's actually going to die from the ult. J4 somehow still managing to live on so little health. How he's managed to do this, but the Meepling's doing the work here. He's actually going to try to 1v1 Vayne, which I think was a little optimistic there. But while this was happening, they managed to get a few more kills as well. Bilgewater Cutlass being used. Good flash angle. Don't know necessarily going to be enough. She's going to try to flash and she's going to get it with the Q. And blue team going to continue their advantage that they've already had. Pushing this down. Misses the Vayne. Vayne has just pretty good kiting at this point. She's done a pretty good job. Very good dodge as well, actually. She's not going to dodge the second one. And they are going to lock in the inhibitor, and Volibear is finally going to show up while this is happening, being like, hey guys, nice to see y'all. Let's go get Baron. They do have very good vision for this now. And just remember, you shouldn't really ever hit Baron from behind, because you actually take more damage and you deal less damage. Pardon me. Grug is going to try to interrupt it. He's going to jump across. The red team's actually going to get the steal. Good flash out of the ult, and Ezreal's going to manage to run away. We have another red member falling down. Ezreal's ult's going to miss. Vayne's actually going to get some nice damage coming out. Very good counter engage by Bard. He's going to lock up both. The third person's going to take. Final hour's just been popped. They're actually going to pop over. One person's going to go with it. And even though he did get the shackle, the Q has already been flying. Blue team probably being a little optimistic there. We'll need to clear out. I don't think that was necessarily the wrong decision to have made. In that, they lost the inhibitor, they had to push, but was pushing as well. But it was still fairly early in the game, so the timers weren't that long. Gragas did his best. I feel like it's just a bit of bad luck. It's one of those like 60% skill, 40% luck kind of scenarios, and a little bit of luck just helps Sejuani manage to charge in at the right time. Equalize that. So the gold is still very much in blue team's favor, even though blue team has been making a few mistakes every now and then, and still managed to maintain their stranglehold on the game. Vayne is farming better than Ezreal though, but Ezreal is very far ahead when it comes to kills. Oriana hasn't really caught up, and she's still 1-9 for 3, so she's still very behind, but she has finished her Sonya's, which will help her in the insta-gib, and also delaying a lot of damage. So a lot of people are starting to catch up, though this is looking very bad. At that point, I don't know where it was a cooldown for her, but if it wasn't, I would use it for the demonstration that it was. Sid's going to get stunned up here. Disgusting damage coming out from Grug. It's a bit of a counter engagement from Damion coming out there. Vayne doing some good poking damage as well. Spooky Ghosts are going to come out. We're going to find some people, slow them down. Just... I haven't seen that. Thought about it. Try to push up the mid lane. Looks like blue team's actually going to try to go for the finish. There's 10 seconds on Oriana. If anything, Sejuani should probably take this time to heal. Let's do this. Let's do the dramatic screen. I wish we could zoom out a little bit. This is the way we are. Good clear. Baron is very difficult to clear again because we can't have any magic damage. Doesn't impact it. J4's actually going to come in for the engage at the moment. Very good ult coming out, but it was on both the tanks. Very good Sejuani ult right in the back line. We're actually going to get the kill on Syndra there. Trying to lock down the Ezreal. Ezreal is actually going to get stunned up. He is very low at this time, but while this is happening, Gragas has been locked down. So at the moment, there's actually been some pretty good kills, but he's going to choose to back up. Vayne's taking a lot of damage there. He's actually going to get double locked up. He's going to get ready to meepling away, but everything's going. Don't read the screen, it has spoilers. Fine. So, popping through. Vayne's taking a lot of damage. He has to be really careful. Ezreal's spitting out some fire. He's got 3 out of 3 items to finish. Ult's going to come out. He's going to nick people, but Minion is taking up a lot of damage there. He's actually finished Blade. He's finished Manamuna. And he's finished Trinity Force. Naturally to say, he's in a pretty good position at this point. Dragon will be spawning in 4 seconds. It is going to be another Cloud Drake. Wind Drake, whatever. Will be another Cloud Drake, and then it'll be interesting to see. Red team, if anything, just wants to deny this so the Elder Dragon stack won't be too bad, but they're not in a position to. Orianna's very far away. J4 is not either. Very good damage this time. Can't be slowed, popping out. Fine. J4 not in a good position. J4 is actually going to fall here. Syndra's going to miss her ult. Slowing the kill to keep her separated for most of the time, but I don't think this is a fight that they can take 1v1. Blue team is going to slow the dragon. They're going to get the 4th one. Let's see how good Vayne's. Silly me. Bit of tongue tickle. Let's see how good her sidestepping is, but it isn't. That is a team wipe with the 4th dragon kicking in and an increased speed boost. They will be pushing up the mid lane to the hope. But no, I take it back. Gragas is going to do his own thing. They're probably going to be in the position to push up this middle lane and finish the game at this point. Damage coming out. I think at this point this was a very good example of the team just managing to keep with their team comp. Even though I was the biggest fan, they just operated better as a unit, played to their strengths, and made better decisions as well, which is sometimes how it goes. J4's going to get stunned up. He didn't pop new moves. He actually is going to get Syndra. It's very low at the moment, and Ezreal's going to demonstrate pretty good kiting if he wants to. Gragas is going to pop up with a knock-up. He's actually going to get stunned. Very low. Doesn't have Blade of the Rune King. Very good side off coming out there. Vayne's going to get some pretty good damage. Her final hour is ready to go. The Reckoning is about to happen. Gragas is going to take a lot of damage. Ezreal's going to fall here. Very good stun coming out on the ult. And he's going to evaporate. Now this is a 60-second timers on this. The red team's turret has been destroyed. They have to be careful. They're running out of turrets really fast. In fact, the only turret left is their tier 4 right here. They're not in a very good position. They're going to try to push against. Unfortunately, by the time they actually manage to push, they're not going to be, especially when that happens, be able to. I would also point out that Bard is got support. He's actually got AP, which would explain why his meatlings and breakfast damage. So should we actually be able to start this by himself, especially with Lolly taking a lot of damage. He's actually going to pop up and going to become huge. Starix Gauge helping him out. Blue team pinging out the bottom tower, actually. Red team's all going to back off. Blue team's going to start pushing this top tower as well. Baron's up in 27 seconds. See how this goes. This is their last tower on the entire map. Definitely seeing how this one goes. This is like the final defense, the last vanguard, all that kind of jazz. Now, blue team has some very good vision of this. They could be looking to catch someone out. He has a shackle shot it and he's going to get killed straight away. Ult coming out. Very good ult coming out from Sejuani, which will be able to lock them up in a position where they might actually be able to help. Ezreal isn't here for this fight, either. Red team is going to back off. 40 seconds on Orianna. Sejuani is actually going to get caught, and she's just going to get out, actually. Just managed to survive 230 HP, and especially with Sejuani so long, so low, they're probably most likely going to be able to lock into the Baron, unless J4 can do something absolutely magnificent. Gragas sees this coming, he's going to try to stop it. J4's going to go for the run. He's going to see if he can do it again. Went for Demacia. Poor Syndra actually flashed into a little crevice between the wall and his flame. Bane's going to fall here as well. And that's probably going to be the end of the game. We have 50-second time. He's going to miss out on the ult, unfortunately. Bard continue. I'll be interested to see his damage in the game. And Inferno flash there. Whoa, that angle was messed up. I'm going to make a petition to rename Bard to Wind Ranger after some of those disgusting shackles. But congratulations to the last game. So let's just quickly look over the stats out of curiosity, see how we go. So if we look over here, I'm actually interested to see how much damage Bard did that game. So Bard did 26,000 damage, which is more than the Gragas, and only 3k behind, only 3k behind Syndra. So he actually did a lot of damage there, and he did more damage than J4 that game, and did more damage than their enemy mid laner, which is unfortunate. So that's all our games tonight. I hope you have indeed enjoyed them. I've been your host and caster, Damion Darksky. We'll be back next week, and to my awareness, we will be having a different Shoutcaster, but then I should be on for the next 2 weeks after that. So, looking forward to seeing you all. My name's Damion Darksky. This is the ULoLW club here. We have a Facebook page you can join. We have a group page we can join, and if you like any of my antics, then feel free to subscribe to me. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys next time.